Right, so today we are going to be talking about the Bands of Mourning, which is book 3 in the Mistborn Era 2 kind of series arc kind of thing. Really enjoying this, or really enjoyed this, I mean. Really enjoying the series as a whole. Really like this one. I will say, though, of the 3 so far, it's probably my least favourite of the 3, because this one kind of delves more into the lore of Mistborn as a whole, from the first series into this one, and it does kind of deal with, as the title of the book suggests, it deals with the Bands of Mourning, which are these kind of like mythical weapons that the Lord Ruler left in a cave with a box of scraps that he left to essentially not be found by anyone, to essentially be hidden for eternity. And someone's found them, or someone thinks that they found them, or that rumours are starting to pop up about their whereabouts and stuff and things. What I really like about this, and what I really like about the series as a whole, is the characters and the banter and the back and forth. And, you know, the thing that this book does really well is it's starting, I know we're one book away from the end, it's starting to develop the relationship between Wax and Steris, and trying to push it forward so that this is more of a, these two characters are in love with each other. It's not just a marriage of convenience. It's not just a marriage of, like, it's not just a title. Like, that may be what it was essentially meant to be, but now it's starting to become more of, it's starting to be more of an actual romantic relationship. And those two, this book gives Steris a lot more to do than she's had to do in the series running up to this. And for the first book she was captured for most of it. The second book she wasn't in for most of it. This one is definitely like, these two characters are, these two characters are actually into each other. They actually like each other a bit. Marassi is given a lot of stuff to do as well. Wayne kind of takes a back seat. He does get a good character moment at the end, but he does kind of take a back seat, which is, it's something which is something that I like, because Wayne is a character that kind of, his sense of humour annoys me. I kind of get what purpose he's trying to, I get the purpose that he has in the book, but I don't love his character as a whole. It's, it's better than it was in book 1, and pointedly Sanderson has said, I made Wayne too annoying in book 1. So there are like, it's definitely the decision to kind of tone down the amount of Wayne and how annoying Wayne actually is. And he does get, like I said, he gets a good character moment at the end of the book, which feels earned, and it feels right for the character. And this book, as much as the lead up to it, I think was the weakest, and because it is the one that is kind of dealing with, it's the most in the weeds with the set, it's the most in the weeds with Wax's uncle, Edwan, who goes under the pseudonym Mr. Suit. I don't care for that kind of angle. I don't care for that storyline as a whole, and I found myself not caring about the overarching story. And it's definitely one of those things where in the first book we're told the set are kidnapping all of these people. So far, only one of those people has been saved, and the people that are saved at the end of this book aren't related to the ones that were being taken in the first book. So it's just the last book has a lot of heavy lifting to do, and I kind of, I can kind of get that it's going to, because it's longer than the rest of the series. I kind of get that, yeah, it's probably going to be satisfying, but I don't find myself caring about that part of the story as much. That being said, you can't call it a denouement because it isn't the end of, because it isn't a detective story. As much as I have compared this series to a kind of Holmes and Watson kind of thing, this one is much more Indiana Jones, especially as we get into the climax, or the Sanderlanche, as it would be referred to. I think this book has the best climax of the three so far. That being said, the lead up to it does feel like it's just, we're going from set piece to set piece, or we're going from train robbery, we're going to a shootout or an action sequence at this party, or we're going to this kind of like underground mine area, where we're then going to essentially doing a Uncharted style cave labyrinth thing, dodging all these traps and stuff, and it does feel like we're going from one set piece to another, and I don't mind it. It's all like well realized, and at the end of the day, it's still Brandon Sanderson doing it, and it is thin, so these don't feel like they're. But I feel like because the book is so thin, these action sequences all kind of blend into each other, even though the setting is different and stuff. It kind of has that breakneck speed and that breakneck pace, but I've felt with this one, even though it is like a higher page count than the last few, I felt the breakneck pace more so as a detriment to this book, rather than it being like all cylinders go, and feeling like, getting to the point really quickly was a good thing. Here, I would have, as much as this book does kind of delve into the personal relationships, especially between Steris and Wax, I would have preferred more of that, and more like lead up to what is this book actually about, especially because there is a twist with a character at the end of this, that leads into the climax, that I was like, I wish we had more time to kind of work that out ourselves, instead of just, being thrown the answer. But that is pretty much it in terms of complaints. Every other good thing that I've said about the other books in the series translates to this one as well. It's quick, it's breezy, it's a lot quicker than Mistborn Era 1 was, and it's certainly quicker than the Stormlight Archive was. That being said, I don't think it's rivaled those heights yet. Maybe I care about Wax more than I care about Vin. Maybe. But I don't know. This one for me is still strong. It's still a good time. But maybe I feel like it's it's on the weaker end of Sanderson novels, and it's probably the weakest Mistborn Era 2 one so far. But for other people, it may be the strongest, because this is the one where like things start coming to a head with the overarching story, and this is the one that deals with Edwan and deals with the characters that have been in the background a lot more, and it does get into the weeds more with like Cosmere stuff in general as like a bigger like Cosmere, you know, it sows more patches into the Cosmere as a whole, and I like that. And I think people who are here for all of the Cosmere Easter eggs, and people that are here for knowing where the Cosmere story goes further, this book will do wonders for you. And I feel like this is going to be either people's favourite in the series, or it's going to be, this is either going to be really high for Cosmere fans, or it's going to be middling for people who only really care about the Mistborn stuff. As for me, I kind of sit somewhere in the middle. So yeah, this book kind of sits somewhere in the middle for me. It's not quite, I wouldn't call it mid, I wouldn't call it bad, I wouldn't call it amazing either. I wouldn't say like the things that should have made me go ooh, ah, or audibly gasp. Those kind of things didn't really, I feel like things could have made me feel more if I spent more time with the characters in moments of downtime. There is stuff in here that is that, but I feel like too spread apart. But that's just my opinion. Sound off in the comments below what you think of Mistborn Era 2 in general, and let me know what you think of the Bands of Mourning as a book in Mistborn Era 2. Never know I never know what to call the series. Probably the Wax and Wane series. That's probably what I'm going to call it when I come around to doing my video on the fourth book. That being said, this was good, but probably my lowest of the series, and one of my lower Sanderson books as a whole. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, all that lovely good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.